Oh, no, you can't chase this on camera.
Not on camera, but
Sliced apple. You gotta give it a little sniff.
tastes like sliced apples.
Taste. Smells.
Smells like sliced apples.
I bet this bitch does not taste like sliced apples. Are we going off the table?
No, sure.
Off chair. You gotta hit the necks.
Welcome back to The Addict with Jacob.
And Jacob.
We have some interesting topics to talk about today. I'll let my man take it off.
All right, so I saw this post on the Shaderoom, which I don't really be looking at the Shaderoom. It was retweeted, and I looked at it, and it said, "Would you rather have an 850 credit score, $2 million in cash, or $4,000 a week?" And I just kind of wanted to see what your thoughts were on that.
All right, 850 credit score. I'm already building my credit. It's pretty easy to build your credit.
Exactly.
So I think I would get the credit out of the way. I don't need that. $2 million cash versus $4,000 a week. This is going to sound cliche, but passive income is very nice. And if you do the math, and you take $4,000 a week times 52 weeks, that is $208,000. If you do 10 years, that will be $2 million. So you would have $2 million in 10 years.
Without having to worry about, okay, you can have $2 million cash, but if you make a bad investment, you fuck that up.
Yeah, the only way I can see this being good is if you had $2 million cash and you had something that you knew is going to increase majorly in the next 5 years or something. Otherwise, $4,000 all day.
But the thing that was blowing me away was all the comments were saying $2 million cash.
No shot.
Yeah, I swear. And then they were getting mad at people that said 4,000. They're like, have confidence, bro. Trust in yourself. I'm not saying I don't trust myself.
Let's say your life expectancy is 70 years.
I think it's a little less.
Well, let's just say it's 70 years.
All right.
You would end up having $14.5 million.
Yeah. And that's not investing it in anything.
And yeah, that's not investing in anything. You know, the stock market could crash, which it always goes back up over time, sure. But it could set you back enough to where that 14 mil would be more. And it's not saying you couldn't invest every single week.
Yeah.
That 4,000. You could still work and invest that complete 4,000 into something every single week.
If you're already making your income as is, like you're already paying your bills and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how. The one that was killing me was some people were saying 850 credit score.
No.
And I don't care how bad your credit is. With either of those two options, you're building your credit.
With that $4,000 a week, you can take out a loan, and it's a credit builder loan from the bank, and you can pay it off with that $4,000 a week if you really want to, and that'll build your credit over time.
It was just a.
You can ruin your credit score. Let's say you have 850, and you're not building it at all, and you go out and you start buying houses and shit because you have a good credit score, but you have to have the income to back it up. But once you get a loan, that ruins it. And if you don't have enough money to pay it off because you didn't take the $2 million or you didn't take the $4,000, you are now ruining your credit score.
Yeah. I mean, I get maybe if you had a bad credit, but still,
it's a lot easier to ruin than it is to build.
Yeah, and it's guaranteed income. Why wouldn't you take guaranteed income? That was something that was throwing me off. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the $4,000.
Okay, so you take the $4,000. Would you choose to invest any of that into art?
Into art?
Yeah.
Fuck no, you gotta be like a billionaire, dog.
See, I was wondering, because I was thinking the other day, I don't know why, I think I was editing the last podcast, and I wanted to know why the value of art is so high.
And I've heard a little bit about it. Now, probably none of this is true, or if it is. But I do know people will buy art as donations to write off on taxes. People buy art and then sell the art to launder money through the art. But I don't know if that's really true or not.
I mean, if you think about it, that's a good way to launder money.
Why else is art millions of dollars, like the famous arts? Why is it that much?
I read a little bit, but I didn't read too much. But it was because, those people, the art that's millions of dollars, those people have passed away. So you're no longer getting anything more from them. But a lot of the painting,
what makes it that much?
It's
all perceived value.
Yeah, I don't understand the value in it, because a lot of the shit that sells for a lot of money is fucking hideous. Like I could recreate one of them. We could recreate one and have it right behind this next episode, and they would not be able to tell us the difference. Actually, they would. They would get on our ass, but
yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I'm not in that world of I make too much money to where I need to waste it. So
not yet.
yeah, I'm not too sure.
All right, so getting on to that, we don't know how those pieces are perceived as they are, like great painters, great art. What makes something or someone great?
I always like to say by your actions, but I mean, really, what's great to one person is not great to another. So again, it would be just perceived value of a human. What your own morals would say about a human would be what considers great.
Okay, I'd go with morals, to be honest.
Yeah,
because like you could be perceived great, but I feel like you have to have a good core to be great. Like you have to have good standard values.
Yeah, like I could create the cure for AIDS, and
would you give it away for free?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you can create the cure for AIDS, but if you start putting a money value on it, people wouldn't like you. If you didn't put a money value on it, the government wouldn't like you.
Yeah.
So,
like way too much.
What makes really a person great?
Oh, yeah, it just
morals. Each person's morals. Then they decide if that person was great or not. So I don't think it's a one thing.
All right, so you say it's morals and how you use them?
Morals and how an individual
in your
uses them.
Okay. I'd have to agree with that.
Even being great can't stop you from slipping up. How do you feel about the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock situation?
Personally, I feel like Will Smith needs to learn how to take a joke. It's a bit excessive. In my opinion, especially, you can... Okay, it's... Speaking on morals, theoretically, you shouldn't just walk up and slap somebody. But, I mean... Alright, you're at the Oscars, okay? That is supposed to be a classy, like... upheld event. Yeah, an elite event. So like they're all supposed to be super classy, all this. Like that's what is it, the Academy? Is that what they call themselves? Like, come on.
Something.
Yeah. And you walk up there. Well, actually what bothers me about it is that he laughed first. He laughed at the joke.
Yeah.
And then he looked at Jada. Jada was rolling her eyes. Couldn't tell if it was her eyes or her head. They both looked the same. And fucking then he walked up there trying to be all tough. And then he smacked him like a bitch.
Yeah, I will have to say I did. The first thing I noticed is Will Smith laughed, and then he looked over, and then she was pissed.
Yeah.
And so it obligated him to also be mad, but to walk up on a stage at an event that could affect your career negatively.
Yeah.
By doing that action, I just don't see why you would do it. And if you're gonna do it, why not just do it afterwards?
Yeah, you're gonna do it public. Like you literally assaulted someone on television.
Yeah.
And
so, I don't know.
I
think he could have done without the slap. Or, I mean, the slap was kind of bitch made.
The pose, he hit like a Heisman.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the shoes were slick. Like, you know. But also, if you base their stature, Will Smith's like 6'4", probably 215, 200, somewhere in there. Chris Rock's maybe like 5'8", 130 soaking wet.
And if we're being honest,
he ate that bitch.
Well, yeah, Chris Rock ate that shit, but Will also knows Chris is a comedian.
Yeah.
And that is the whole point. And that no jokes are to be taken heavily. They're all supposed to be taken lightheartedly. That's the point of comedy.
Well, that's why they have a comedian there every year to make fun of the people that nobody makes fun of.
Correct.
I mean...
Because if you're not a comedian and you go out there and start making fun of people, then it might be taken the wrong way.
Exactly.
But if you're a comedian and your whole career is based off of making fun of things in the world, and it's the whole point is to not be taken, to heart.
Exactly.
It would make sense for him to make the joke.
I really think Jada just doesn't like Chris Rock because I think it was 2016. He made a joke about Jada before. Like, she said, like, something along the lines of if Chris Rock is performing or is hosting or whatever it's classified as, then I'm not coming. And then he's like, well, it's like me trying to get in Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited. Like, basically saying, like, she wasn't the reason they were getting to go.
Gotcha.
But I feel like, what's that, 7-year grudge?
I mean...
Like, damn, bitch.
Yeah.
And I also saw another clip of her saying, what was it? It's like, and I don't give a damn what anybody has to say about my bald head. All right. Clearly.
Well, you obviously do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I just think it's a terrible situation. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's a hell of an actor.
Yeah.
But I don't know if...
I think how you fix this at this point, they would really have to get together and come up and say it was a bit. It was all planned. I think that gets rid of all public hate on either party.
It's waited way too long.
I know, but that's what they should have done. Like.
No, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Chris Rock and Will Smith slaps me, look, I got money, but I don't got Will Smith money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You could have came up with a...
Oh, no, I'm pressing charges. I am pressing. I'm suing the shit out of you.
You did it on live TV, too. I mean,
yeah, I'm suing...
literally assault on live TV.
And what's his net worth? Oh, shit. Something I'm never touching. Like...
Yeah.
I'm just really impressed with how well he fucking ate the slap. He didn't even rub his face. You ever been smacked?
Yes.
That shit stings.
It does.
Like, the first thing you want to do is...
Yeah.
Damn. And he just fucking...
Wow. The cameras are on.
yeah. Man, I don't know. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about dopamine levels. Like, what causes your dopamine?
Sure. I would go with your hobbies can give you dopamine. There's a lot of like little things that give you the taste of dopamine, like scrolling through TikTok. That's why a lot of people scroll through it at night, because it gives them that rush of dopamine for a very short amount of time. And again, people's attention spans have been lessened and lessened because we have I'm trying to think of the word.
We have so many options.
Yes, so many options, but we have suited the people to be used to watching these small clips and getting that quick dopamine rush. So longer videos, I see it on TikTok all the time with like a minute-long video where the joke is at the end. People in the comments say, you could have made this so much shorter. Like, they're mad that they had to sit through a minute to get their dopamine rush.
Which I feel like that's a little crazy. Like,
it is.
Because, I mean, like, I've noticed my attention span has went down because, like, back when I was younger, I could sit and read the whole book.
Yeah.
I would have the time of my life. Now it's like, I'll be reading the book. I'll be like, maybe I should see what people are doing. Like, it fucks up the...
Yeah, you prefer that quick dopamine versus the long term. Like, that takes a while. You get that rewarding dopamine versus quick.
Yeah, and I feel like you want the rewarding one, but people just literally
don't
can't
have the patience anymore to wait for that rewarding dopamine.
And I feel like it's so much better because, like, back to the books, I wouldn't even, like, now if I read a book, I don't picture anything. My imagination is no longer there. I used to read a book, and it's like I'm reading a movie script because I'm making a movie in my head.
Which could be more on maturing, and that more creative part of your brain is starting to dissipate, along with the use of, marijuana, literally.
Yeah.
With marijuana, you become reliant on that creative part of your brain to be active during that time. Then when you're sober, that creative part isn't too much there anymore.
I'm probably just trying to recuperate because, when you get high and shit, like, idea after idea after idea, I'm like, oh, it's like your brain's just overworking, really.
Yeah.
So, you need
that's what it does. It stimulates your certain stems of your brain.
Okay, so we'd already talked about, like, the consumption of marijuana. I guess it'd be consumption.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can mess up your emotions, dopamine levels. What's your thoughts on alcohol?
Alcohol consumption, with addiction, I do think it definitely can affect your emotion levels. A lot of the main thing becomes depression because you become, like, reliant on you being buzzed or being drunk to get through your day or the end of your day. And then slowly but surely, you become more reliant that you only have fun or only enjoy yourself while you're on alcohol. And that's where it becomes the addiction. So it can, but every body reacts differently to alcohol addiction. Addiction runs pretty heavily in my family, so I watch how much I limit how much I drink, and I make sure that I don't get to a state where I really enjoy it. And if I don't enjoy my next day, I'll take a break off of it because I don't want to become reliant on it.
Yeah.
But I do think if it's in your history and your genetics, it is very easy to become reliant and then in turn come depressed because you're not on alcohol.
Yeah, I can relate to that because I haven't had that problem with drinking per se, but I've had it when I smoked. There'd be like I'd get about halfway through my day, I'm just pissed off. Why haven't I smoked?
Yeah.
But that's less of a harmful one in my opinion than drinking, because if you get halfway through your day And you're like, oh, I need a buzz.
Yeah.
That
What a
really
lot of people
fucks up the rest of your day.
What a lot of people don't really put the connection to is that alcohol is a drug.
Yeah.
It is a drug, and it's classified, I believe, as a depressant, literally. Because I know people say, like, oh, marijuana's a drug. Well, alcohol is worse of a drug. Alcohol kills an astronomically more people than marijuana ever has.
Is it just because people don't... Okay, this is going to sound weird, but people don't know how to drink.
I think people don't know when to stop drinking. I think that's really where it becomes the issue, at least in short term with death. Long term, alcohol affects your liver and all that. Liver failure can come, and different diseases can come off of alcohol, and that's where it really will kill you. Which I guess is the same with marijuana, possibly, if it affects your lungs that bad.
Yeah.
Over time with any smoking, because that's a alien substance in your lungs, and your lungs aren't ready for any substance besides air. That's what they're made for, air. They're not made for...
Ever got water in your lungs?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like when you smoke, most of the time a person you smoke with the first time, they're gonna be like, you want to do this slowly, they don't try to just...
A lot of smokers have like that initiation. They don't put people on too much because they know how to affect them.
And the initiation for when you drink is
get fucked up.
Yeah, just shot after shot.
Get fucked up.
Yeah, it's just go. I feel like I feel like you should initiate people the same way you do with smoking. It's just like, take about 2-3, just chill out, enjoy your night.
Yeah.
But like your 21st birthday, they like people want to take you to a bar, black you out, or even like the first time you drink, you go to a party, someone be like, you want to take this shot with me, pussy?
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you a situation of someone that drank with me. Luckily, I don't remember his name, so I can't accidentally name drop him. You weren't here. Had some people over. This guy was very... grew up in a strict household, never drank before, and even I made the mistake of making him drink too much. And it's almost because I thought he could, because I can, and it's almost like putting my standards of drinking on him.
I do that.
Yeah, and so he got blackout, like actually blackout. First time drinking, I had to sit by him to make sure he didn't throw up on anything with the trash bag, and took care of him. But even there, like, I messed up. I made him drink too much.
But if he would have came over to smoke, I bet it would have been...
If he would have came over to smoke, there's no shot I'd let him smoke too much.
Yeah, you'd just be like, hey, just say a couple, you'll start to feel it. Like, just chill out. People don't wait. I think people think they are supposed to feel it immediately.
Yeah, that is a big thing. It takes, I believe, 40 minutes for it to really kick in.
Yeah, you go... I'm not gonna lie, this is about to sound terrible on my part. I'll take fucking, like, 10, 15 shots. And then 40 minutes later, I'll be like, oh, I'm starting to feel it. And then another 40 minutes later, it's like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. I'm spinning. I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. But I mean, also, how I drink, I would prefer, like, my limit or my good buzz feeling is 7 to 8 shots. So I would prefer to take my 7 to 8 shots immediately and then feel my good buzz than drink all night. I just don't like drinking all night. But with that being my thought process of drinking, just pushing that on someone else when they've never drank before.
Yeah, you're gonna fucking destroy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like I don't know. I'm gonna sound like a fucking alcoholic, like terribly, but I feel like that's a warm up. Which, granted, I really should stop after that. But I don't have a.
But I mean, how we've been going, then yes, it really does feel like a warm up.
It does. Like, if you give me 7 to 8 shots, I'm gonna look at you and be like, "We're done."
Yeah.
Like, all right, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Let me know if you want to.
Yeah, that was my way of a quick buzz. So like 7, 8, get the hard, like, good buzz, but then I wouldn't drink anymore. Like, I'd be like, all right, I did that more like, let's party for like a couple hours and go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, that's more of what that is.
Yeah, but we've been recently just like fucking
half gallons.
Yeah, we gotta chill with that.
Yeah, that's really bad on your body.
Not even just your body; it's bad on the mental too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time.
So, what do we got next? Oh, so you'd be drinking at a party, and if it's just your boys, you'll have a good time. Like, everything flows smoothly. But in your opinion, if you're partying, do you prefer... Now, no homo, we support you guys, but no homo with this. Would you rather prefer to drink with just your boys, or do you want women there as well?
Okay, so this comes down again, literally no homo. Literally the vibe. I would prefer my boys, my friends, over having girls there. Mostly because I don't have many friends that are girls that I really trust the same way as I do guys that are friends. But that's not in a mean way. It's just I haven't had a relationship, like a friendship like that's gotten that deep before.
Yeah.
But to me, when it's just the boys, I can say whatever I want to say. I can do whatever I want to do. But when girls get involved, it feels like I have to limit what I say, limit what I do, because I might be perceived negatively in a girl's mind versus a guy's mind.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But I've also kind of got to the point where it's like, I really, like, if they're over here, it's like, I really don't give a fuck how you feel about me. Like, don't come back. I'd actually be grateful for you not to come back type shit.
Sure. And, I mean, really how I feel, I've yet to have a girl come over to party with us that's been my type. So
they've all lacked some melanin. Yeah, I mean, and that's where it gets into a tricky situation too, because then it's kind of like a balance of ego check. Because I feel like
explain.
I feel like all the guys get a little more. They get more hostile,
more competitive.
Yeah. And it's like
I definitely don't like that when like a group of friends fight over. Like let's say you have 4 guy friends, you bring over, 1 chick. 4 people are going to be fighting over that 1 chick's attention, and that in return kind of ruins the vibes of the night.
Yeah, even if you don't really like her, you're going to see they're going. You're like, oh.
And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen.
Yeah,
I've seen it happen, and I don't push for that competitive thing just because I don't care, and they're not my type.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't even care if they're not my type. I'm just competitive, and then if I get some alcohol influence my decision, I'm gonna make you work. I don't even want her. I'll send you all of her shit, like her fucking Snap number, whatever you want. I'm just doing it for like really just a game. It's a game.
Yeah, but it's more again of a mental expectation that I guess guys have in their mind if they want that person, and then it just turns into like a who's the alpha male of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. Speaking of that, so you're talking about being the alpha. Have you ever been a pussy whipped? Been flipped into a beta bitch by a female?
Yes.
Hey, you didn't lie.
Yes. One of my exes, really the only girl I've ever actually liked. Again, she was one of the only girls I've ever talked to that was my type as well.
Gotcha.
So I'm sure that didn't help.
No, it won't.
But I mean, that really turned into me caring way too much about, what she would say, and I would look way too hard into what she would say to me. I'd be worried that things were going south, and that's me being overthinking, which is a very big turnoff when it comes to relationships.
Terrible.
But it's tough not to do when you're that far deep into it.
Yeah, you've invested.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, once I invest, I used to be. Now I really have lost all care or fuck to give. Like, I'm not gonna put in any type of energy I'm not seeing back. I used to just put in all the energy, but then I'm like, I'm wasting time.
Yeah, I would say that I was for a couple months. Like, I was pretty heavy into like making sure everything was going well and blah blah blah. But after that, I mean, once the energy from her was dying off, and I decided to die it off as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
But that's more my own mental health than it is.
Exactly. You can't be investing all this into. All right, put it this way: you can't be sending a text this long and getting like one-liners back. Like, what's that? You're gonna overthink. It's just not good for you.
Yeah.
It's very hard to. It's not very hard. You just have to. I'd say you have to find someone. Really, they say opposites attract, but I hate that shit. I need somebody that's like me.
Got you. I don't like me. I don't know. I mean, I would like to have someone that I've said this before, but literally on the same intellectual wavelength that's able to have conversations that I want to have conversations about. That's really one of the main things. It should be the same with her. I should be able to have conversations with her that she wants to have conversations about.
All right, we'll run this down real quick. Never mind.
Right.
that was gonna be terrible.
All right.
So what do we got? Oh, do you have you said you haven't talked to girls that are your type?
Yeah.
Is that because they're Zodiac sign?
Well, no. I don't think too much on Zodiac signs. I do think that, yes, sure, it can relate to you, but the reasoning is because a lot of them are very vague with the readings, so just about anyone can relate to it, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
It can help people, like literally help people, like make connections in their own brain to figure out a problem they have in life, but you shouldn't rely on it.
Yeah, if the first question you ask me is, what's your zodiac sign? My first thought is immediately that you're mentally unstable.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've been asked, and I'll tell them, but if they make a decision off of whether or not they want to talk to me because of my zodiac signs...
Like, ew, you're a Virgo.
Yeah, like, come on, do you really think that's what's all to people?
Yeah.
Is like some app telling you that you're reading for the day
you're
and how compatible these two signs are? I don't think a person is that reliant on their sign. Everyone is different.
Yeah, and putting it into that, it's just... it makes you seem mentally unstable. Like you can't make decisions for yourself.
I wouldn't have met too many people like that.
You've met too many people like that?
I haven't met too many people like that, so I couldn't really make an opinion based off of mental health.
It's the fucking white girls.
Well, well, there you go. That's probably why I haven't met many people like that.
Yeah, it's the white ones.
I don't know. I would like to see a study done with people that hard believe. When I mean believe, I mean like base their entire life off of their zodiac signs with mental health. That would be an interesting study. I'm not saying if they do have a problem or don't. I'm just saying that study would be interesting to read. Oh yeah, with kids growing up in the pandemic, I think in the future we'll see an increase of kids with mental health problems to do with like social anxiety, socially talking to people, being trapped in, getting used to being trapped in their room for that long period of time.
I would agree with that. Like I still see a lot of kids now that will walk around with their face masks on. And it's not mandated anymore. And it's not even because like they're scared of getting sick. They're just like
used to it.
Yeah, I feel like
it also masks show your
emotions.
Well, when it covers up parts of your face and you almost feel like more safe. People don't see you like you're all of you. Well, I'm saying that's what can happen.
Yeah, but that's not a concerning issue?
It is, and that's what I'm telling you that could happen to a bunch of kids, be super insecure without their mask on.
Yeah. See, the mask made me feel stupid because I started walking around with my mouth open. So when I took the mask off for a little bit, I was walking around like with my mouth open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'd catch myself like when I'm outside, I'm like, why's my mouth so dry? I'm like, close it, you fucking idiot. Like,
yeah. I would say my mouth or my face it was just very uncomfortable for me to wear a mask.
Oh, yeah.
I got used to it after about a month, but it was just uncomfortable.
I'd completely agree with that.
I'm at that age where I've lived my whole life without one, so doing it...
Then it really...
Well,
it would have been harder for us to adapt to that change.
Correct, but for kids, it wasn't as hard, I'm probably sure.
Yeah, I would assume so as well.
Yeah, and so that could affect in the long term.
They're very easily influenced at that young of an age. Okay, so we're talking about how the kids have changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think those type of issues, how will they affect the world in about, we'll give them 30 to 50 years, because they'll be grown adults by then?
I don't know. It's tough to say really what the world will be like in that period of time. To see how relationships with Russia and everything like that advance in the future, along with global warming advancing. It would be interesting to see how the world will be in 50 years.
I do believe so as well. I'm not too certain.
I have a feeling oil, gas is probably going to be more of a scarcity or scarcity.
Scarcity, yeah.
We might have an influx of electric appliances and electric cars and stuff like that to get off of that natural fossil fuel.
I would agree with that completely, but I also do think
But really, even then, how do you get electric? Well, it's run by, things that use fossil fuel.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. I mean, wind turbines just aren't as...
they're not effective
They don't
enough.
produce enough energy. The water turbines don't produce enough energy compared to what natural gas and natural, fossil fuels can do. So we really need some advancements when it comes to that technology to be able to be as efficient, well, not efficient, but as energy producing as the fossil fuels are.
Yeah, which I personally, I don't
Not
see
in
it.
our generation.
Yeah, we don't have our generation really doesn't have the mindset of caring yet.
That too.
I think it relies on we're thinking okay, if we're alive in 50 years, we're gonna be 70, 80. we've lived life.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. And this sounds like I'm just a terrible human. I never said I had good morals. I never said I was great.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not my problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's my grandchildren's, like, my kids' problem, but, like, I'm not changing shit. And I know people are going to say, well, if everyone just changed and said their part would help, but that's just...
sure, but getting everyone to do it...
That's impossible.
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't know, it would be interesting how pollution levels are in 50 years, how, cities look, how if energy has advanced enough to where we don't rely on fossil fuels anymore.
I do think the masks for the younger kids might have been good, because with pollution...
Well, that too. Yeah. And a big example of that is in Japan. I don't remember, I think it's Tokyo maybe. It's one of their big cities. Everyone wears masks. Not because of the coronavirus, it's just because of that industry pollution in the factories is so bad that everyone wears a mask just so they don't get sick off of that.
And there's like, we're nowhere near close to that, but we got a lot of Yeah, but we got a lot of factories like in this town alone.
Yeah.
That produce so much pollution. I mean, it's tough. I mean, there's really no way to, I don't see an effective way to stop it or slow it down, because
I don't know. You just don't know.
Yeah, everyone's so in on advancing civilization that, like, you can't advance civilization if you have nowhere to advance it. Like, if this planet's not here.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't ever think we're living on Mars.
I mean, not in our generation.
I don't think for 200-300 years, if the Earth makes it that long. I mean, the prices, they would have to get to Mars, they would have to build the infrastructure, unless you're just going to be like pioneers build it. But I've never seen a fucking tree on Mars.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like, you're going to build your house out of sand?
I mean, you would ship materials there, but who's to say those metals wouldn't last as long on atmosphere?
But you're still using resources from this Earth.
Yeah.
I've never understood the Mars thing.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. But talking about end of the world, I watched this video yesterday that talked about the Book of Revelations. The Book of Revelations is in the Bible, and a lot of Christians see it as the book of end of times and the signs that will happen at the end of times. However, you can relate the Book of Revelations to the emperors and the control over the land. Trying to think of where it was. It's in New Age Turkey, like where Turkey is, but it was called something else back in the day.
Okay.
And even Nero is the name of the emperor that was prosecuting the Christians. And John wrote the number 666 being the mark of the beast, and really has been figured out recently in 2005, I believe. There was an old scroll that was dated farther than the Book of Revelations. That was like a copy of it. And the actual number was 616.
So,
but how it happens, John told people to calculate the number. And what that means is Roman names, the letters had number representatives.
Yeah.
And Nero, if you write that out in Roman character or Greek characters or whatever, and you take the numbers, it equals 666. And Nero's other name, which I don't remember it, if you write that out,
616.
616. So it's really relating to the downfall of that empire, which did happen. That empire did crash.
Yeah, but...
but you can look at a lot of Revelations and actually relate it to that day and age period, other than, the end of the world.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean...
Which is very interesting.
But the fall of certain empires, I guess, would theoretically... It wouldn't necessarily in the world, but it could...
In their world.
Yeah.
In a sense.
I'll say our economy and China's economy both just tanks.
Yeah. Which I do believe how it works is that, yes, it was about that empire, but it also had that metaphorical meaning about the end of the world.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's looked upon now. Okay. That it was about there, but it's also about the end of the world. But I found that really interesting. I watched that video last night on it.
This is probably one of the craziest conspiracy theories that I have ever heard in my entire life. Everyone watching this right now, everybody you know, your parents, your family, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your friends is actually dead. No one is alive. But how is that possible, right? If everybody can feel pain, everybody can theoretically jump in front of a moving train, they can pinch themselves, they can hit themselves, they can inflict pain on others. How is it that we are all dead? So there are two well-known and documented things that we know happens to us after we are proclaimed clinically dead, meaning after the heart has stopped beating, right? Number one being that your whole life flashes right before your eyes, and that's become cliche to say, right? You see it in movies, you see it in cartoons, you see it in novels and books, whatever. And number two being that your brain lives on for 7 whole minutes after you've been proclaimed dead. And in those 7 minutes, your brain is recreating memories in a dreamlike state. And as Einstein proclaimed, time is relative, right? So time moves completely different for you when you're dead versus when you're alive. So those 7 minutes for your brain after your death can vary anywhere from 7 minutes to 100 years, and it all feels real because you're living in a dreamlike state. And this theory claims that we all died in 2012 when the Mayans had predicted the end of the world, and we all collectively died instantly. And that now we are all experiencing life through a shared consciousness. And that's why there's the Mandela effect, because we're all trying to come together and recreate these memories as best as we can on a collective consciousness level. So some people will remember certain things as being a certain way, and others will remember things being another way. Nothing is real. No one is real. Everything is fake, including me.
I don't put much thought into it just because if you're reliving everything in a dream state, I mean, what would be reality then at that point? But if you know when you dream, your dreams are crazy.
Yeah.
So
I would live my life we would not be here. We'd be in Miami. Like, you know, like what? But
yeah,
it also doesn't make sense because 2012, I'd been 11.
Yeah.
I did not know you existed when I was 11.
Yeah.
I didn't know half the people I knew now when I was 11.
Yeah.
So if I never made it past the age of 11,
who's thinking of me at this age?
Yeah.
To make this into our collective consciousness.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's a cool theory, but also, how do you? When you're proclaimed dead, they said your whole life flashes before your eyes.
Yeah.
How
does your life go past where your life would end?
Yeah, and also, how can you confirm that is true? You can't. You can see they have active brain waves probably, but you can't physically see.
A better theory that also explained the Mandela effect that I've seen before is that when you die, your consciousness gets put into another dimension that leaves you off like right before you died, and then you continue to live like if you died when you weren't supposed to die, for example.
Oh, okay.
Like you move into another universe where you didn't die, and now you're living in there. And little things are changed, so Mandela effect. Like what people remember, like the guy with the monocle, the Monopoly guy, actually didn't have one in this universe. And so that's how they explain the Mandela effect and shit like that. But there's a subreddit called Glitch in the Matrix, which I'm sure is all false, but it's interesting reads. And a lot of people have, like, they tell stories of that, like, I remember me dying in this car crash, and then I woke up before the car crash and was able to, like, pull over, and I still saw the car that was supposed to hit me. Like, shit like that. And then they'll say, like, I went home, and, like, my dad's coffee cup that he drinks out of every day was black, and now it's white. And when I asked my dad about it, he says that I'm crazy and that he's always drinking out of a white cup. Like, stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is a very interesting thought process, that if that was to happen, that, like, if the universe was like, you're not supposed to die yet, and so saves you and puts you into an alternate one, like, where you didn't die.
I feel like at that, like, if that is true, I feel like somebody, like, the upper elites must, I don't know, I just feel like they would have to know about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I feel like, I guess that you shouldn't share that theory, because then people are going to
think you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, and also they're going to, if I knew, like, I could be saved from dying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm risking my life.
Well, then who's to say that isn't the point where you're supposed to die?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I made a stupid decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to read your life script, though.
Oh, yeah. Like your life book.
Yeah, like...
I wouldn't want to know my ending, though.
I want to know I guess I don't want to know the age.
I wouldn't want to know anything. I would read it up to my point, like where I'm at right now.
Well, yeah, because I don't remember shit.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of stuff, so I'd read it like to see my past. But
yeah, what do you guys think about that? Do you remember things different, or actually, would you like to be transferred into another
universe?
Yeah, universe, dimension. Which one is it?
I don't know.
It's probably the same shit.
I'm not into all that.
I'm not either, really. But I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I watched that when we were supposed to record at 12.
Oh.
I mean, it's 12, but 12 hours later. Anything else you want to talk about? Got any questions for the viewers?
More of what topics do you want to hear? Like we've done stories, we've done more real topics where we converse about philosophy and other things like that with chemicals in the brain. Would you rather funny stories? Would you rather real topics? You know, put some in the comments what topics you want us to talk about.
Did you like the interview? That was the first time.
Yeah, was the interview good? Did you like that style of interviewing a person? We have people we can interview.
If we do that though, what type of people would you want us to interview? Do you want us to reach out to people like who are like professionals in certain fields, or do you just want us to interview local people?
Yeah,
that would be good to know, because I've had some people reach out to me about getting on the podcast, but we just want to know what you guys think.
Yeah,
about having guests.
Also, do you prefer more structured podcasts versus going with completely the flow, nothing written down to talk about? Do you prefer shorter videos, like lengthwise, an hour video versus 30 minutes? What's a good length? Like what do you want?
Yeah, what do you want from us? Because, I mean, we pretty much have...
We can talk about anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's one topic we will not talk about.
Well, anything that doesn't get you in trouble, we can talk about.
There's one topic. I might have to change our description. I said, we'll talk about anything. And no, we will not. I learned that very quickly. But, yeah, if you guys did enjoy, this has been an episode of The Addict. I've been your host, Jacob, with my boy.
Jacob.
And we'll see you all in the next episode.